So this is my carriage stop with a dial indicator holder. Works really well. The thing I like about it is that you don't need any tools to operate it. So it's thumb screw, knob, and then there's a lever at the bottom which clamps it down. I've got a pin there just at the, it acts as a hinge, and it also acts as a spacer. When this thing's mounted up, there's a bit of a gap that's parallel with the bottom of the body of it. So that's it there. The last thing I did was just run it over the surface grinder just for cosmetic reasons, just to get it looking nice. There's a little bit of video of that if anyone was interested, watching the rest of the video of me making this thing. Okay guys, I've got a bit of a fiddly job to do on the rotary table. This is a thick piece of material here, and eventually when I go to clamp the dial gauge in there, I actually want it to sit more in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just cut out this area here so the dial gauge can actually sit in. And And what I've done to work this out, I've clamped a piece of offcut here, it's just clamped on. And I worked out the edge where I want my radius, measured in 31 mil, the radius, center popped it, and then I scribed the line in here. And the rotary table has been already centered to the spindle. I just came down and lined up onto that center pop mark. And then when I did that, I was able to clamp the piece down to the mini pallet. It's a bit of an awkward piece because there's the cutout there that goes in the ways for the lathe. So I've managed to get one clamp here, and I'd like another clamp to hold it. So what I'm going to do, now that I've got this in place, right, I can remove this clamp and take this offcut piece, lay it down, clamp it back to the block, and then clamp that down to the table. I'll just put this camera down and I'll do it, and then I'll show you what I meant. Okay, so it's all ready to go now. I'm happy with it. It's got two clamps holding it down. Even though this clamp isn't actually on the workpiece, I've clamped the offcut to the workpiece, and now I'm using a toe clamp to hold down that offcut. So it's quite solid. The whole job there is quite solid. So I feel happy with that. It's going to, you know, hold it down adequately while I do this cutout. I'll go easy on it. And yeah, so I'll reposition this camera, get it all set up for the cut, and then I'll probably show some cuts. Okay. Just about to get ready to start doing the first cut. I made a bit of a modification to the clamping there. I went and used a smaller piece of stock there, just to give it a little bit more clearance, because I want to come down about 15 mil. I would have had enough room, but it was very tight, so I just put a smaller piece of stock there, clamped it, and re-clamped that. So anyway, I'm all ready to go. The first cut's going to be a small one. I'm going to go in probably about 3 mil, and I'm just coming down 2.5 mil at a time, and eventually I'll get down to 15 mil. So first cut, I'll go easy on it. I'm just going to go with about 570 RPM. So there's the first cut. I was getting a little bit of vibration. I'll turn the camera off and just make sure everything's been tightened down before I start the next cut. Okay guys, I'm getting closer and closer to the line, as you can see. I ended up putting a bigger end mill in there. It's a 16 mil roughing end mill, and it's taking a 7 mil depth of cut, and I'm going in 1 millimeter at a time. So yeah, so it's coming good. I'll get it up close to that line, and then I'll go in another 7 mil, so that'll be 14. Okay, I'm about to do the finishing pass. I've got it down to the total depth, and I've changed the end bit to a finishing end mill, 12mm diameter. It's all set up, ready to go. So let's turn on the machine and do the cut. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. It's turned out quite nice. And the way I clamped down the job, it actually did it quite well. There was no movement or anything, so I was really happy about that. Okay, so I've just got a little bit more to do on that bottom there, and then I'll take the work piece out and we'll have a bit of a look at it. Okay, so I've removed it, cleaned it up, deburred it, and I'm happy with it. She turned out quite nice. As you can see, I took it right up to that line, and yeah, so I'm quite happy with it. It's starting to take shape, so I'll just keep plodding along with it. I'll just go ahead now and drill this hole to take the dial indicator, and I'll get back to you once I've progressed a bit more. Okay, so got the hole drilled. It was drilled and reamed to 8mm, so it's a nice slide fit for the dial indicator shaft. So it slides in nice. And I drilled and tapped a hole, made a little brass thumb screw to clamp that in place. That clamps it up really good. I went with a long thumb screw there so I can get good purchase there with my fingers. And yeah, so that's starting to really take shape now, guys. And pretty happy with it. So the next step, I'm going to start working on the clamp, which will clamp to the ways. I've already got the piece cut to size. So same thing, I've got to drill a hole, drill and tap a hole into here, and same again. I'll do that off camera, just, you know, everyone's seen the hole being drilled. And so when I get up to that stage, I'll show you how it's looking. Okay, so I've got the hole drilled in the bottom plate and the block. it's drilled and tapped into the block, and this is the clamping bolt. Eventually it's going to have a lever put in it. Before I work out where I'm going to put that lever, I've got some spacers in here, so to have this parallel, these two pieces parallel. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a 6mm round bar in between the join up at the end here, so it maintains this to be parallel, and it'll also keep the two pieces in line with each other while it's loose. So that's the next step that I'll be doing. So I've just got my feeler gauges. I've already had the feeler gauges in there. I'll just show you. So that's a nice sliding fit. All right, and that measures to 1.8 mil. So if I'm going to put a 6mm round bar in between them, so 6mm minus 1.8 is 4.2. So with my 6mm ball nose end mill, I just got to run a groove on either side that's 2.1 mil deep, and that'll get me my 4.2, and then that'll keep this parallel. So I'll do that now, I'll work on that now, and then when I've got that done, well, I'll reset it up and we'll see how that looks. Okay, I'm going to try to get the first cut here on video, holding the camera with my hand and operating the milling machine with the other. So forgive me if it's a bit shaky. Okay, so I've got the clamping plate to go first. Depth of cut is just 0.5 millimeter, and so yeah, let's do this. So there's the first cut. That was really shaky, it was bloody hard. I'm gonna have to get yourself a good camera, because when I set this up in the tripod, it just gets too much vibration in the picture. So that's why I don't do any machining on the camera, on video. Okay, it's all done, and as you can see now, that 6mm round bar is keeping these two pieces parallel with each other. And when you loosen it, it keeps it parallel with the block, so you can slide it and see how this doesn't turn. So you can slide it, clamp it up, and it stays parallel with the block. So that was the idea behind having that 6mm round bar sandwiched in between those two. So I'm just going to super glue that round bar just down into the bottom block here. I was going to bolt it, but it's not really doing much, so yeah, I'm just going to super glue it. And yeah, so it's the job's coming on quite good. I'm happy with it. So now that I've got this done, I can work out where I want the lever to actually finish. I want it out of the way. I don't want it in the way here on this side here. So I might put a mark, have it 90 degrees on this side, because by the time with the lever, being a lever, by the time I clamp hard up on it, it may finish here. So anywhere there to there to there will be fine. So I'm just going to mark that, just going to text it. So the hole for the lever is going to go there. Okay. So I've got the hole drilled and tapped into the locking bolt, and I also made the lever that'll screw into it, made out of brass, and I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a taper in there. I've tapered it down, and with the knurling I made it to match the thumb screw, so I'll just screw that in. So that's loose. So when it's loose, it's easy to slide to wherever it is that you want to go. And then when you get in a position, you just clamp down on it. And I still haven't super glued this piece in, that round rod bar. But anyway, so that's it there. It's working quite good. That's solid as. And yeah, so I'm really happy with that. And the handle's out of the way. It's not on this side of the stop, which is good. Yeah, so it's easy to operate. So really happy with it. It's slowly starting to take shape. What I'm going to do now, I've got to start implementing the actual stop, an adjustable stop in this, and I've got room in here to do it, but I'm actually going to come up on the top, and on the inside section here, I'm going to miter this 45 degrees, and then I'm going to come down in this direction with the screw, and then in here we'll have the hole to take the adjustable rod. So I'll start working on that, and then as I progress, I'll show you how that's turning out. So I've got that stage done now. Like I said, I'll put the 45-degree miter in the top inside corner. There's the hole for the actual adjustable stop, drilled and reamed to 10 mil. This here is a piece of stainless. Not that I wanted to use stainless, but I had the stainless there, so I used it. And that's a nice sliding fit. As you can see, I machined a flat into it, so the grub screw can hold up against that. And as you can see on this side, there's all my markings out. And this here, this actual piece of brass knob, I made this for a different project and I ended up not using it, so it's worked out good to use it for this job. And instead of machining a whole heap of brass, this here is just a piece of thread bar screwed up into it, Loctite it in. So that screws up into here. You can see it coming through there to the hole. So that stop goes in like such. clamps down up on that flat, and that has really good purchase on it. Like that, this stop is solid as. So it's starting to look really good now. What I'm going to do now, the main body and the clamping plate, I'm going to put these on the surface grinder to start getting this looking really nice. So I'll clean up all the surfaces and I'll just put a nice little file, break the edge off these. And once I get it to that stage, I'll put it all back together, put it back on the lathe, and we'll see how this thing works. The first pass, I always go very light, just in case there's any high spots. So that was 1/100th of a millimetre. I'll come down 2/100ths of a millimetre this pass. Just do a stretch pass and then it'll be finished. With the rest of the surface grinding, I'll do it off camera. It's all done, finished with the surface grinding. Quite happy with it, I think it's turned out quite good. There's the clamp. I didn't surface grind underneath it with these milling marks in here. Just a little bit of oil, I'll put a little bit of oil on there, just so it slides along the ways quite easily. But yeah, anyway, so that's it there, so it's all done. What I'll do now, I'll fully assemble it and we'll see how this thing works. So it's all assembled, ready to go. I'll get to see in demo how I'll get to use this. So just so for argument's sake, you move the carriage to where you want this thing to be stopped. So you just loosen this off, push the stop hard up against the carriage, clamp that back down again. And using the digital indicator, I can zero that. So now every time I hit this stop, you want it to be on the zero. So it's very good repeatability there. And some people may not like using it. So, some people like to use the dial indicator. I can just swap that out quite easily. For those guys with DROs, you wouldn't need this, but I don't have a DRO for my lathe. I've had this lathe for 6 years and I've never really needed the DRO. So you're moving right along, you want your carriage. The carriage is going to stop, say there. Hit the stop hard up against it, clamp that down. Move the indicator so it's on zero. So now it's pretty much the same. just gives you peace of mind that you haven't ran into the stop too hard and moved it. So yeah, really happy with that. This it's come up really good. I really like it, and it's just having this tool now. It's just making using my lathe just a little bit better. Something I probably should have made a while ago, but I've got it now, so I'm really happy. So thanks for watching, guys, and any comments, just leave them down below, and if you can tick a like would be great, and subscribe, just help me build my channel up, that'd be awesome. Okay, thanks.